Welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you a cool effect that you can add into videos that you're creating. If you fly your drone for real estate or other kinds of production, it's fun to motion track in titles in unique ways and then kind of animate that text. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. So for this particular property that I filmed, I added in this text here that you kind of fly through it right as you're revealing this community playground on the other side. Obviously we could always trim that beginning, and I just kind of threw this together for the purposes of this tutorial to show you. But it's a cool way to display graphics instead of just putting them in the lower third. So let's show you how I did this. I'm going to go ahead and delete the stuff that I've already done. I'm going to assume that you know how to use the tracker, but if not, basically you're just going to highlight your footage and click track camera. And in my case, it took me about a minute to do it. And what it's going to end up doing when you're done is if you highlight the 3D camera tracker, you should see tracker points throughout your footage appear and disappear. And so in this case, what I did is I chose a point right near this tree here. So we just go something like that. Now, the angle is something you're going to have to adjust later. So you notice that the bullseye here is a little off, but I'm just going to create a solid here. And then I'm going to pre-comp, and we're just going to call this fly through text. And then we're going to go ahead and open this up. And what I like to do is, since I know it's going to be text, I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger on the width. And we don't even need this solid anymore. So the first thing I did is created my border, which is going to be kind of like my signage for the text. And then I'm just going to come in here and add, let's say, community playground. And we can put that into place there. So the animation I use for this is just an existing one. It's a really I think a nice clean animation preset under text, animate in slow fade on. And actually I want to redo that and make sure that I'm on frame 0. And it's automatically going to add the parameters so that it gives this kind of nice fade on look. And then for my shape layer, what I did is I added a trim path. And all we're going to do is just play with the start. So I want my start to be 0 or at 100%. And then as I get to the place where I start seeing that second word, I'm going to finish it by going to 0. So now it should look something like this. Let's clean it all up. Let's select both of these and hit U on the keyboard and highlight all of our key frames and hit F9 so that they're all easing. You don't really need to do that for the slow fade on, but I did it anyway. And then let's go back to fly through. And now we should see, yep, there's our community playground text. And now we just need to play with the positioning of it. So first things first, just kind of eyeballing it here. And you can just grab and move around since it's basically in its place that it needs to be. And you might even want to play with the scaling a little bit. And then I'm also going to look for that real fly through. I'm going to try to fly right through the letter U. I'm going to get to the point where we're almost making contact here with the text. And that's pretty good right there. Okay. So that's pretty good. And then let's just make one last adjustment to the rotation here. I think maybe just 1 degree. Looks to be pretty solid. And so there we go. So now if I start it back, you could add a speed ramp through there. The only other thing that you want to do to make this look realistic is make sure that you add the motion blur. And as it gets closer to the object, it really starts to take on this kind of real look. And I would probably want to play with the timing of it. So right now it shows up on the screen pretty quickly, but you could go in here select your keyframes and move them back quite a bit so that you don't see it until you start getting closer. And that can also be done in just editing your video footage. But anyway, that's just kind of a quick example of how to create a cool graphical text overlay using motion tracking in After Effects and some drone footage here. I hope you enjoyed it, and feel free to ask any questions and subscribe.